All right, here it is, the brand new Ninja Foodi DualZone air fryer, meaning it has two baskets, so you can do two different things at one time. A fantastic idea. We're going to just pretty much do what I call an unboxing. As you can see, it's already unboxed, but I'm going to show you all the features, how to operate it, and how well it works. And I think you're going to be impressed. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's get this started. Okay, so to kind of get a few things out of the way right quick, I'm going to show you the artwork on the box and tell you about at least two versions I know of this device. We're also going to do a temperature test because that's a big deal to me. I want to make sure each one of these baskets don't kind of bleed over to the other and actually maintain a reasonably, accurate temperature between the two baskets. So I got a little setup here. I'm going to use a potato. I'll explain all that in a minute. But here is how it comes. And I got to see if you can see what I'm seeing. And you can, I believe. Right there is the front of the box. And it just tells you this right here. And this comes into where the two versions are. Right now, this is a Walmart exclusive as far as I know. It's the only place I can find it. It is the DZ100. That's DZ as in DualZone 100. That's the model number. It is a 4-in-1 device. That means it has 4 features right here. There's another one that's only pre-order right now on Ninja's website, which is a 6-in-1, and it adds air broil and air bake. This one does not have those two features. The big deal about that is there's a mistake on Walmart's website if they haven't fixed it yet, but it says that this one will go up to 450 degrees. It will not. I've already checked it. It will only go to 400. I'm assuming, and I feel positive, the one with the air broil, the DZ200 that's pre-order only right now, will go to 450. So if that's a big deal to you, keep that in mind. This one was $149. I think the one at Ninja pre-order is $179. So to get all that out of the way, it does have some of the features I really wanted though. Reheat. I love that for just what they have right here. Pizza, a lot of things. Air fryer reheats as good as anything. 8-quart capacity. They're both the same capacity. I'm 99% sure between the two models. Each basket is 4 quarts. And you'll see in a minute the sizes. That's one of the things the wife caught right out of the way. She said it's a little small. Well, for 1 or 2 people, I think this is an ultimate device for a 1 or 2 person family because of things like that right there. Chicken fingers and French fries, or things like hamburgers and French fries. That's what I'm going to do with it most because I've never been able to do hamburgers and French fries together without having to do a lot of special stuff. And in fact, I've never even done it. You can here. I'm just showing you the box, I guess. Right here, it's got smart finish, and you can read about it. I'll try and tell it. It's not complicated. It's just hard to explain. But it will, like if you set up 2 different foods in there that have 2 different times, when you hit smart finish, it'll just delay the time of one or the other where they end at the same time. A real good idea. And then match cook, where like if you're wanting to cook French fries, and you do 1 pound per tray, I believe it is. I'll check that in a minute when we're doing it, or when I'm looking at it. But 1 pound, so you could do 2 pounds of fries at one time if you use both drawers. And you just hit match cook, and that means it'll set both of them at the same temperature, and they'll start and stop at the same time. And let's see, right here's how it looks when you open it up. Got these trays in the bottom. It's not anything that releases the things. I'm not crazy about baskets that release. And these have this. And I like that. I mean, you do have to, when you're dumping them, yeah, a lot of people say they fall out. Well, I just take a spatula or something and hold them in when I'm dumping. I would much rather do that than I have worried about pressing that button by accident like I've done 100 times. Now, maybe there's some I haven't tried, but I just hadn't had good luck with those type air frying baskets. Here you go, air fry, air roast, and I have the numbers written down somewhere on the temps it goes to, which we'll show in a minute. Main unit, 4 programming, easy to control panel, DualZone technology, all of that. And then right here, something you might want to know. It is the DZ100, 1690 watts. So, of course, it's 120 volts. So right now, what we're going to do, well, let me show you this. Here's what it comes with. 15 recipes in here and a quick start guide. And I looked at the recipes. they're pretty neat. I mean, they're kind of elaborate, some of them, for what I think I'll do, which is that right there, or hamburgers and french fries. That's primarily why I bought it. Now, I did buy it, by the way. Nobody's funded me. Walmart, Ninja, nobody knows who I am. I paid for this out of my pocket with my money. And then it comes with this owner's guide. And then it has this right here, which is a Kickstart recipe. And it shows 2 recipes in here. And one of them's maple mustard chicken thighs with Brussels sprouts. Like I said, it's not elaborate. It just shows you what you can do. Chicken thighs in one side and Brussels sprouts in the other. And then, I mean, that's not a bad setup, because that's 2 different temperatures you definitely need for that. And then one is just french fries. So, I don't know if we're going to cook in it today. I'm going to see how fast this goes, but I am definitely going to do hamburgers and french fries in it. If I don't do it on this video, I will have another. So I'm about to bring this down and show it to you right quick. I almost forgot to mention these numbers, but the air frying mode, you can go from 300 degrees Fahrenheit to 400 degrees for 1 minute up to 1 hour. The air roast is 300 degrees to 400 degrees for 1 minute up to 4 hours. Reheat is 270 to 400 for 1 minute and up to 1 hour. And then the dehydrate is 105 degrees to 195 for 1 hour up to 12 hours. So there you go. All right, so here it is a little bit closer. I'll even turn it on. There you go. It's about 12.5 inches tall. And they recommend 6 inches in all directions, this way and that way and above. And you can see here it's about, I don't know, 15 wide and somewhere about, if you count handles and all, 13 deep. So it's a good design. I think it works. I mean, it's a good size. I think it works well for a countertop. And that's probably what it'll be left on my countertop, just for this fact that I can cook the hamburgers and the french fries at the same time, or just, one thing. Now, like I said, Baby Doll and a couple people have said they thought it was a little small when you look at these one baskets. Well, it's 8 quarts. You can just do the same thing in both sides. Perfect for a 1 or 2 person family, I'll say that. Right here, it's simple, straightforward, nothing complicated. If you ask me, you just select whichever one you want to use. Say, like, you got to set up one at a time, obviously, so we'd select one, hit air fry. Temp would be to wherever you want it, and like I said, up to 400, down to 300. Time over here, and then if you want to run the second basket, you select the number 2, you hit the function you want, temp again, time. And one thing I'll say too is with this one, and I've never had an air fryer that did this, and I think it's a good idea, is while it's running, say you want to pull it out and shake the fries, it doesn't turn off. It keeps running. The reason I like that is because a lot of them, when you pull the basket out, it shuts down. Well, then all your stuff has to come back to heat. Your element has to heat back up. Your fan has to start back up. This way, you pull it out, do that right quick, shove it back in. You really hadn't lost anything. So let's see. I mean, the rest of it, the smart finish and the match cook is pretty much just what you might imagine. If you had something set up in there for 19 minutes and 23 and you hit the smart finish, it will end those at the same time. And it has a few little directions here on the side for you to go by. A lot of this you can tell, or you can ask in the questions if you need to. What I'm going to do is, you can see it's independent chambers. They're not connected in any way. And I was worried about that at the beginning, but by looking right here, it looks to me like they're completely independent. So what I want to do is just want to make sure it will track temperatures. I'm going to turn that off. It'll track temperatures within reason of what you request. So I'm going to, in fact, I'll do this and then I'll come back, but I'm going to set my meters up. Now, this end won't handle that high a temperature, so I'm going to use these potatoes, and I'm going to stick this in the potato. So we're going to be reading the temp off this black end right here. It'll be these green numbers. So I'm going to get that started, and get these potatoes ready, and I'll be right back, and we're going to see how well it tracks temps. Be back. All right, I got the potatoes ready. I got our probe in them. Turn the unit on. Number 1, we're going to take to 400 degrees. So I'll hit number 1, obviously, hit air fry for the function, take it to 400. I'm going to move the time to 1 hour because I don't want it cutting off. Then, number 2, I select number 2, I hit the function I want, which is air fry, and I take it to 300, which is as low as it'll go. But we're going to take it all the way down, and then I'll also make the time on it 1 hour. They'll be running simultaneous, and that way we don't have to worry about it running out of time, because all we're going to be doing is watching the temps on 1 and 4, these green numbers right here. So number 1, we're going to put right here in number 1 chamber, or number 1 basket. And the potato I want it in the center. I don't want it to move, so I'm going to close that real easy. Same thing over here. The number 4 probe is going right here. And close that real easy and hit start. We're off and running. Now these don't indicate any temperature until they get above a certain number. I think it's like 90 degrees or whatever, but going to be watching it. I'll bring you back along the way and we'll see how they're doing and maintaining those temps. Be right back. Okay, if you're wondering about how fast the temp climbs with something cooking, we're pretty close to 5 minutes in, and you can see we're 295 on the one that's set for 300 and 322 on the one that's set for 400, and but we're definitely moving up fairly fast, but it's not there at 5 minutes, just so you know. Okay, we're right at about, well, 34 minutes in, 33, 34 minutes, and one of my potatoes is done. The one in the 400 degree one is at 199, and that's about where I like a potato. And you can see, in fact, don't even look at any of those, look at those 2 numbers. Here is our 400 degree basket, and here's our 300 degree basket. All right, now I want to say, that is super close, not to mention that I have no way of calibrating these. I calibrate all of my thermometers with an ice bath, but you can't submerge these, or I've sent them an email and they haven't responded. I don't think you can submerge these in a liquid, so I have never calibrated. But if you look at that right there, that's 5%. If you do the math, that's 5% different than what we have it set for. That could easily be my thermometer. But this will give you a really good idea. And this is also, that's about 5% also. That could be my readings. That could be my device. That is, hey, I'm impressed. 318 and 427 when you're asking for 300 and 400 in an air fryer, not bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut these. I'm going to actually get my potato out right here before it overcooks. I may let that one finish because, hey, I got some butter and some sour cream, if you know what I mean. That might be supper. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so to kind of show you what the pause feature does and how convenient it is, like if you want to pause both of them, you just leave them just like that and you press pause. And that completely shuts it off. And it'll pause and you can open them. While it's running, again, if you want to open it and you don't want to lose any time, you won't lose any time, because if it's just running and you open it, it does not stop. It keeps running, the heat, the elements on, the fans on. So if you were going to shake your fries, whatever that takes is all you lose of cooking time. It doesn't even stop counting. Now if you want to pause one side, say you want to pause that when you press that. Now that cuts that one off. It's not on anymore until you put that back in and press the start button. If you want to change the temp on one of them, and I've already messed with it a little bit so the temps aren't where they were, but say you wanted to change the temp on one, you would press one, have it flashing, and then you just take it to say 350, you press start. Now if you want to make sure that went to 350, you press that, get it flashing, and you can press the temp and you see it's at 350. Same thing with the time. If you want to change the time, it's 1546, and you get that flashing, and you want to change the time. Now it does move it 1 minute increment at the time. Well, I got to get it flashing. My bad. It moves at 1 minute increments at the time. You can't move seconds. But say you wanted to take it down to 9 minutes, then you just hit start, and you're at 9 minutes. You just took time off, or you add time, whichever you want to do. Straightforward. It works great. I'm impressed with the setup of it, and it's once a little use with it, anybody can figure it out. So now you know. All right, just in closing, I'll say that, hey, I like it. It's a nice looking device. I think it'll work on your counter. It'll stay on. I got a feeling this will have a permanent place on my counter. I do like it. It's not that hot anywhere around. Sometimes I do temp checks on the back and everywhere. And I I did run my hand around back here. Nothing was out of the ordinary. I will say this. One thing, it takes in air all the way around right here, so you wouldn't want to lay anything on top. You'd never want to lay anything on top, period, of any air fryer, but you wouldn't for certain here, because if anything hung over that, it would block your air intake. And then it discharges here, here, and down here, the best I could tell. I felt air coming out here, here, and here. And like I said, it was nothing nothing concerning. It was warmer, but they want 6 inches. They want 6 inches this direction, and this direction. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, don't ever go by what I'm saying. Go by this. Read your safety manual. It's a big deal, and there's a lot of things in there that I didn't even touch on. And I'm not trying to replace it by any means. So look in your manual. Hey, I think you'll like it. I do. And if that changes, I will definitely let you know. And I will have a hamburger French fry video up on this very soon. Wings and fries too, probably. But that's my main intention for it, is air frying 2 separate things at 2 different temperatures and times. So anyhow, thank y'all for watching. Y'all come back to see me. I love y'all all, and have a good night.